Welcome back to the Sic Em Podcast. I'm your host, John Morris. Baylor fans, this week we've got a special episode for you. I recently caught up with Baylor men's basketball head coach Scott Drew to talk about his decision to stay at Baylor, what his offseason looks like, the incoming freshman class, and so much more. Enjoy the conversation. All right, Coach, it is the offseason, whatever that means to you, offseason.
That's a little different nowadays, offseason.
It is, very much. Let's talk about that. But it's been kind of a whirlwind the last few weeks for you. How's that been?
Well, you know, it used to be once season ended, you would have a little downtime, recover, and then get ready for summer school and everyone back. And everything's flipped because now with the transfer portal and with us, we're so blessed that a lot of our players are given opportunities to go professional. But you really spend a lot of time trying to form a team in a short period of time because you have to get ready for summer school and start the journey for the next year.
Yeah. So what's your schedule look like? In some sense, you're almost busier now than you are during the season.
Probably the busiest time of year is once season ends.
Yeah.
And that's because you need to meet all the needs of the players that are trying to decide between agents to turn pro, players deciding to turn pro or come back, players deciding to transfer or stay, and then recruit players to replace all those leaving.
And recruits, you've got a good class. We can talk about the freshmen. That's official. Yeah. Can you talk about those guys?
We can always talk about those.
I know.
I won't say
you
side
like to.
we can talk about, but we're really blessed with the great freshman class. Let's start with height, and we'll work up.
Okay.
So 6 foot point guard, Rob Wright. He might be 6'1" or 2 now. His hair is getting long.
Ooh.
But undefeated season at Mount Verde.
Wow.
Won the championship, one of the best high school teams to ever play. And he was the catalyst, did a great job facilitating and getting everybody involved, and somebody that's really hard worker, really competitive, a great fit for our Baylor culture. And I know the Baylor family is going to be really excited about Rob Wright. Then let's go to a 6'5" VJ Edgecombe, and he's somebody that very athletic, very dynamic, got a great smile. Can score in a variety of ways, but also defensively can change the game with his athleticism. Somebody that people might have as high as top 5 in the next projected draft. And again, somebody our staff's really excited to work with, and will really fit in with our culture. The Baylor family will love him. And then the last one, we'll go 6'9", Jason Asamoto from Hillcrest, a traditional power in a team that has had a lot of success over the past history. But Jason's somebody that one of the best shooters to go through that program. Very skilled player, somebody that ranked high, and it's hard to start ranked high and finish ranked high because a lot of people are always gunning for you. But very intelligent and hardworking family, somebody that's going to really fit in well here. And his sister at Stanford and him are always competing over who gets the best grades.
Very good. Great class coming in. Folks are saying, what about the portal? What about the transfers? Can't talk about that yet.
Yeah, so that's the freshman class. We're really excited about that. Everybody else besides the high school freshmen we'll talk about a little bit later. And I know we're all really excited because the success we've had in the last 5 years, winningest Power 5 program in the country, the only school to be a top 3 seed in the last 4 NCAA tournaments, which means you've had great regular seasons, and then one of 4 schools to win a game since 2019 in every tournament. And then last year we had the number 1 strength of schedule, only school to have 3 players drafted in the top 16 in the last 3 drafts, and hopefully we'll have number 4 this year. So just a lot of positive things, which are leading to a lot of people very interested in Baylor University and our program.
So good response out on the
good
portal
response
trail.
So far, so good.
That's very good. Let's take our Baylor fans behind the scenes a little bit. You've had some opportunities here recently that you said thanks, but no thanks to. Walk us through your thought process on some of those.
Well, first and foremost, if you're having success, then that's a good thing that people want that success at other schools. And I'm blessed to have a great agent that handles all that during season, so I never have to worry about it. And our staff has been blessed with a lot of opportunities over the past few seasons, especially because we're smart enough to know our success comes because of others. And first and foremost, Jesus Christ, our Lord and Savior, has blessed our program. And then second of all our players, administration, President Livingstone, Mac Rhodes, all the Baylor family that allows us to have the resources, the facilities to be successful. And again, at the end of the day, no one makes buckets, no one gets rebounds, no one gets defensive stops or assists besides our players. So they've sacrificed for each other. That's why they've had opportunities after they've graduated for professional basketball, and that's why some of our staff has had opportunities. So that's a good sign. People like what we're achieving here and how we're achieving it.
You've had opportunities in the past. This year, it seemed different.
Well, I think this year a little more in the media probably is why. And I know you're from Kentucky, and you gave me 105 reasons why Texas is better than Kentucky, and I appreciated that.
Yeah, thanks.
But I do know when you talk about programs like Louisville and Kentucky, you're talking about programs similar to Baylor, national champions, a lot of attention, a lot of excitement, and Kentucky being the winningest basketball program in the country, and we're chasing them.
Yeah. But that's an opportunity that you have to listen to, right?
And that's where, again, God called us to come here, and our players are faced with tough decisions all the time, and sometimes it's easier to preach a sermon than to actually live it out, and going through tough decisions yourself and how you go about that. And to me, it was a great, because I haven't done that in a while, where I've had a real tough decision, and through a lot of prayer and godly counsel, I was able to seek God's will and my family's will, and make sure my priorities were in order. And God opens doors, closes doors based on you having, we have a culture of joy, Jesus, others, yourself. And based on those principles, it's easy to make godly decisions. And again, I don't know, no one's perfect. That's why we're all saved through grace on this earth, but a great deal of peace when you make a decision in a godly manner and fashion. And so blessed to have an opportunity to work at a great school like Baylor University, where all three of my kids have been born and raised, and that's all they know. And Mackenzie's finishing up her sophomore year at Baylor, and I have a sophomore in high school and a sixth grader in high school. And my wife loves it, and we're just really blessed to be able to have a community that you can call home, and have such strong feelings and admiration for.
Prayer is a big part of it. I know that, and a lot of people were praying right alongside you in this. And then you mentioned your family, and this was a family decision, wasn't it?
100%. And I know as your kids get older, they get a voice. And again, I think you stick with the God and the family. Everything else takes care of itself. And with I know with my faith, being in God's will and being where He wants me, that's all I want. And I tell you, it was so humbling that people would want us to stay here and be really concerned about us leaving. And but I was really appreciative too of those that, hey, if God calls you to Mozambique, you go to Mozambique. So it's where God wants you. And I think I know with my family, I hope one day my kids make decisions the exact same way. I'm not smart enough to come up with that, but I'm smart enough to go to people who know how to make godly decisions.
Yeah. What kind of counsel did your dad give you on this?
So really, I talked to my dad, talked to my brother, which I always do, but really I sought more pastors and more spiritual guidance than anything, and that's who I. And because you're so busy with everything, you don't always have time to get everybody in the loop and keep everyone up to date with everything. So really, it was what did I feel God was saying? What did I feel my family was saying? And in that order.
There was so much intense interest on this.
Yeah.
I know you felt that. And at one point, there were reports that you were flying to Lexington and you were there. But no, you weren't in Lexington. You were having lunch at Mi Casita with Eric Sharrow. Yeah. Wasn't that wild the way that picture and that post kind of blew up?
Yeah, obviously never saw that coming.
4.4 million views.
Well, and I am appreciative that the restaurant was able to get a lot of attention because they deserve that. But I know, again, when you're going through something like that, I really put my phone down and didn't look at any social media. We look at social media because our recruits are always on there. But I really wasn't on that, and I wasn't answering text messages, emails, and I was really just trying to hear what the Lord and His counsel was saying. And because of that, I'm a little OCD. Like I like answering text messages and emails. There was big numbers each night, and that bothered me. I couldn't get to the bottom of that. But I thought it was more important to prioritize God and family during that time.
Yeah. How many texts in a single day?
It was over 600 easy. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's hard to get back to.
Yeah.
That many people.
And over 300 emails.
Wow.
Yeah.
What did you? What was on the menu at Mi Casita? You and Eric.
We had soup that day.
Okay. In what is now the Drew booth, you know.
Yeah. I know Eric really likes that attention, so please give him a call. Eric Sharrow, Alliance Bank. It's your bank.
That's right. Very good. We'll give you his cell number if you'd like. You can contact Eric about that. When it came down to it, you've sort of answered this, but what did it come down to, saying no to Kentucky and staying here at Baylor, continuing your work here?
Well, really, I thought there was a great platform to spread the culture of joy there, and at the same time, God has called us here, and my family loves it here, and there's more work to be done. I felt at peace staying here, and one thing is, as a father, my wife has done such an amazing job with our children because we're working 24/7, and it's a profession you love, but it does take away a lot of time from your children, and to be able to stay in one community for 21 years is truly a blessing. That doesn't happen often in coaching, and until God would make it apparent and call us somewhere else, you're stuck with me, J-Mo.
I'm happy for that. And 21 years here, going into year 22 for you. You've made so many deep, lasting relationships here in Waco. Did you feel the outpouring of support and the outpouring of love from your friends and Baylor fans here?
Yeah, most definitely, and that's. I'm a pleaser, and I hate to let people down. Like when we lose, and I know fans in the Baylor family's upset. Like I'm upset that we lose, period. But I don't want anyone to go through that either. So to see the excitement when we said we were staying, that really made I know my family feel honored and blessed and humbled. And again, that's. You talk about best moments at Baylor, and like one of them, the parade, and seeing everybody, and seeing the past players be able to be honored, and along with the current players. I mean, that there's so much more to accomplish here, and so many other things that we haven't achieved yet. So excited about that. I do actually get to move out of this office, and we get to move in a new one this summer. So really excited about that. And I know Baylor University, being the largest Baptist university, what a great platform God has given us with this. And I know to be the winningest men's and women's and football program, men's and women's basketball and football program since 2011. We've really been blessed athletically, and the friendships it transcends all the. You love winning, you love competing, but the relationships are a lot deeper than that. Mm-hmm. So you put all of that together, J-Mo, and again, felt a peace. And my family was, if you're called to go, we will go. So they were 100% supportive if I was called to go. And at the end of the day, God's got more work for us here.
I love it. That is great. What about year 22 for you coming up? We're glad it's year 22 here at Baylor. As you look ahead, what do you want to accomplish in your 22nd season at Baylor?
Well, first you got a new Foster Pavilion with all the practice facilities, offices, and everything. So excited to move in there. Also, you have a new Big 12. So I know everybody's excited about new rivalries and new things that entails. And then one of the there's always good and bad. I'm a glasses half full guy, and when you have this much turnover with teams, it's hard. But at the same time, it gives you an opportunity to work with a lot of new players, spread the culture of joy, and have a chance to have impact on some people's lives. Even though it's 8 months, it can last for the rest of their life. So that's exciting.
Yeah. And the way you run the program here, I mean, if you're a Baylor Bear, you're a Baylor Bear for life.
Yeah.
Like guys, the way they come back, Tweety's on staff here, which is great. The way you sow into their lives, it really shows the impact that lasts the rest of their lives.
Yeah. Well, and the summertime, vet week, past players coming back. We have a lot in the NBA, watching them in playoffs. Then they're coming back. Then the overseas guys get done. They come back. And then those that are in the working world, seeing them come through or seeing them come to games is awesome. But you're getting older when you're starting to look at recruiting some of their kids, you know. So that's when you become dated.
Yeah, exactly. How about your staff? Some shuffling with your staff. Where are you in that process?
Well, I think at the same time we'll answer the staff, and as we finish out the recruiting. So hopefully in that first week in May, everything will be finalized, finished, and then we can say, here's who's on the team, here's who's the staff. But at the end of the day, we're really blessed because a lot of people want to be a part of this program and want to be a part of Baylor University, and that's because the leadership all the way down, special place, a lot of great people.
Good. Then you're going to go fishing.
Yes, Pat Nunley, if he hasn't caught every fish in the river, we will go fishing.
I know he hasn't. Not by design. Not by design that he's left those for you. Glad you'll be fishing in Lake Waco instead of Harrington Lake. So that's a good thing. Coach, we appreciate the visit. We're glad you're here at Baylor.
Thank you, J-Mo.
Thanks again for joining us on the Sic Em Podcast, a sport and story production. If you enjoyed this conversation with Scott Drew, head over to BaylorPlus.com or the official Baylor Athletics YouTube channel, where you can watch the premium video version of this podcast. Be sure to subscribe to the show wherever you get your podcast, leave a review, and tell your friends about us. I'm your host, John Morris, and I hope you'll join us next week on another edition of the Sic Em Podcast.